Alright, before we begin, I'm gonna try to have this more of a limited, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Limited commentary. From what I understand, it's a very, it's a game that should be experienced without, like, just, just watching, not necessarily listening, or, except for whatever dialogue might be in the game. So, I may be pretty quiet during this, and I apologize, but let's begin. Let's make sure everything's captioned. Oh, it shows me everything. Interesting. Alright. What I understand is also a Half-Life 2 source mod, which would explain the chapters already showing up, like in Half-Life 2, and that sort of thing. Anyways, let's begin.
Dear Esther, I've lost track of how long I've been here, and how many visits I have made overall. Certainly the landmarks are now so familiar to me that I have to remind myself to actually see the forms and shapes in front of me. I could stumble blind across these rocks, the edges of these precipices, without fear of missing my step and plummeting down to sea. Besides, I have always considered that if one is to fall, it is critical to keep one's eyes firmly open.
Actually, I'd like to fix sensitivity. Much better. Did you hear that? Oh, interesting. Light turns off. What was that? HC, sort of chemical formula. I'm serious. Did you see that? I'm gonna get out of here. I can't go up. So be it. I don't know, so far this looks like a nice place. A bit cloudy. I wonder what that tower over there is. Should probably make my way there. cages. Fishing, perhaps? Oh, there's the path.
When you were born, your mother told me, a hush fell over the delivery room. A great red birthmark covered the left side of your face. No one knew what to say, so you cried to fill the vacuum. I always admired you for that you cried to fill whatever vacuum you found. I began to manufacture vacuums just to enable you to deploy your talent. The birthmark faded by the time you were 6 and had gone completely by the time we met, but your fascination with the empty and its cure remained.
What's this? The island, perhaps? Someone else here?
Dear Esther, I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me caves, my forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so. All overexposed, the nervous system, where Donnelly's boots and yours and mine still trample.
Car door.
I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
Car doors. Wonder what that means. Am I at the end? That can't be. Where do I go? Is there a way to jump? No. Suppose we'll walk along the coast. What the? What is this?
Come back.
What? Is that a... That was interesting. Which way do I go now? I mean, this way seems to be a dead end, so... Unless something cleared out. No. We'll go back. I really hope I'm not lost. Suppose we can take these stairs. Ah, there we go.
The mount is clearly the focal point of this landscape. It almost appears so well placed as to be artificial. I find myself easily slipping into the delusional state of ascribing purpose, deliberate motive to everything here. Was this island formed during the moment of impact? When we were torn loose from our moorings, and the seatbelts cut motorway lanes into our chests and shoulders, did it first break surface then?
Or was I in an accident? It sounds like a car accident.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boat, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff path died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
What is that formation down there? That's interesting. Oh, one of the rocks is here too. Oh, I'll go left. There's a city? No, couldn't be.
They were God-fearing people, those shepherds. There was no love in the relationship. Donnelly tells me that they had one Bible that was passed around in strict rotation. It was stolen by a visiting monk in 1776, 2 years before the island was abandoned altogether. In the interim, I wonder, did they assign chapter and verse to the stones and grasses, marking the geography with a superimposed significance that they could actually walk the Bible and inhabit its contradiction?
So, is this island abandoned? That's what I'm getting. Wow. Is that a ship? Oh, it is. The lighthouse is just right there.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Oh. It's an interesting game. Lighthouse is still there. What's that noise?
I find myself increasingly unable to find that point where the hermit ends and Paul and I begin. We are woven into a sodden blanket, stuffed into the bottom of a boat to stop the leak and hold back the ocean. My neck aches from staring up at the aerial. It mirrors the dull throb in my gut where I am sure I've begun to form another stone. In my dreams, it forms into a perfect representation of Lot's wife, head over her shoulder, staring along the motorway at the approaching traffic in a vacuum of fatalistic calm.
Wow. What are these? These aren't chemical formulas. No, they are. That one is at least. It's a nice cave. Where do I go from here? Back. No, that can be. Yeah, that's the only way. Oh, there's a pathway over here. I didn't even notice it. At least there's birds. Can't really say I'm alone here. Not quite. The bird disappears.
I've become convinced I am not alone here, even though I'm equally sure it is simply a delusion brought upon by circumstance. I do not, for instance, remember where I found the candles, or why I took it upon myself to light such a strange pathway. Perhaps it is only for those who are bound to follow.
Oh, this is this monument. Did you hear that? The Bible. Like, oh, I really wish I knew what these formulas were, but I don't. I really don't. Chemistry was my strong suit. Oh jeez, where am I going?